On the hunt for comfortable, timeless Western boots? You already know the best place to shop for quality boots is at your local Tacova store. So stop by Tacova's Nashville, at the Mall at Green Hills, or on Broadway by Ryman Auditorium. That's right, you now have 2 locations to choose from. Grab a cold one as you shop and get fitted by a pro. Tacova's Nashville is at your service, and you can find your perfectly fitted dream boots with the help of their expert staff. Everyone will be asking where you got your sick new boots, but I won't be asking because I know they must be Tacova's. That's TECOVAS.com. Don't go gently, y'all. Today on CityCast Nashville, we are recovering from Bonnaroo. Marie is going to tell us about her new obsession, and we are going to talk about what we're doing for Pride this weekend at the festival and beyond the festival. Whitney's also going to catch us up a little bit on the Metro Council meeting. I am joined by producer Marie-Cecile Anderson and executive producer Whitney Pasterek. CityCast Nashville is presented by our exclusive launch sponsor, Tacova's. It's Friday, June 21st. I'm your host, Grace Fuse, and this is what Nashville's talking about. Before we get started, everybody, quick roll call. Marie, say hi.
Hi.
Whitney, say hi.
It's Whitney. Marie, have your cat
Marie's
say
cat
hi.
is saying hi.
Olive. Hi, I'm Marie. This is my cat, Olive.
She decided to be quiet on that one. Fair. So, Whitney, you actually went to Bonnaroo. I hate lying to Emily Young, but I did not attend. Can you tell us what your experience was?
I did go to Bonnaroo. I try to go to Bonnaroo as often as possible. It's like summer camp for me and a group of my friends, and we have the best time. This year was a little bit out of the ordinary because my friends got married in the wedding chapel there. They had a barn set up sort of between the Ferris wheel and the second main stage, and they had drag queens performing ceremonies, and it was not only a beautiful moment of love, but it was also air conditioned. So that was really, I think there were some people hanging out there who maybe didn't know anybody who was getting married. But it was a great moment. Congrats to Ellen and Drew. I did get to see Joby Riccio, who Emily Young had talked about, and it was this beautiful sort of collision of Lucinda Williams and Joni Mitchell. And I absolutely loved her vibe, and I cannot wait to continue to follow her journey. And then, yes, I did, in fact, see Chappell Roan. I went back on Sunday to see the Chappell Roan, and they had moved her to a bigger stage, which I think was the right call, because you would not have fit all those people doing the hot to go dance. And it was, in fact, quite the spectacle to see a field full of thousands of people all doing that's like a modern day YMCA situation. But, you know, she was all decked out like a doctor.
Yeah, did she have a theme? Was there like an official theme?
Medical.
Okay, medical theme. Yeah.
Yes. Her band members were, I guess, nurses. Her makeup did not move.
Oh.
So a lot of the chatter backstage afterwards was like, what kind of ceiling agent is she putting on that she's up there in 100-degree heat index? And it was full face, folks, and not just like, foundation, like full white, like... It was a full, like, almost kabuki-esque white face. So much color, green eyeshadow. Didn't move. Not a drop of sweat appeared on that woman's face.
Were there people in the audience that were dressed in the medical apparel, or did people, like, get the memo enough to wear stuff for Chappell Roan at Bonnaroo?
Not that I was aware of. I think it might be a little hard because you are in a situation where at that point you'd been camping for 3.5 days.
True.
So I'm not sure if people were able to bring a full trunk of costume changes per se.
Yeah.
But the vibes were immaculate, as the kids say. Everybody seemed to be having a great time. I love her camp. I love everything about it. And I'm so glad I saw it.
You guys, I'm a new listener to Chappell Roan. Thank you again, Emily Young, for coming on our show and telling us about all these amazing bands that I had never heard of. I had heard very little about Chappell Roan before that episode, and I have totally fallen madly in love with this woman. She is such an incredible artist. I've watched all of her music videos.
You're in.
Her music videos are unbelievable, and they came out like 3 or 4 years ago. Last night, I had a comedy show. I showed up. Yeah, I didn't do whiteface, but I did do. I had full blue. Like I'm so.
You dedicated your makeup look to Chappell Roan.
Well, she's empowered me to like just be my authentic freaky self. And it's Pride Month, so I might as well just lean all in.
Yeah.
So I'm totally obsessed. And again, I'm like forever grateful because I was listening to Taylor Swift for way too long. I'm ready for somebody new.
Move over,
Grace,
Tay.
don't look at me like that. You know I love Tay Tay.
Marie, what's your favorite Chappell Roan song?
Pink Pony Club.
Pink Pony Club is my least favorite.
Oh, no. Really?
Oh, no.
It's the earworm for me. And the video, if you've seen the music video, it's unbelievable. It's so cool.
It's funny because genuinely Pink Pony Club was stuck in my head this morning because I saw like an Instagram story of somebody covering it and I was like, Pink Pony Club. But it's also like, I can't.
I'm curious now, what's your favorite? And Whitney, what's yours?
You know, good luck, babe. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to be basic about it, but good luck, babe. Whitney, what's your favorite Chappell Roan?
My favorite Chappell Roan is the 15 seconds of hot to go that appears in TikToks that make it out of containment and over to Instagram where I can see them.
Of course, you're a Reels woman, Whitney. I support that entirely. I like to walk the line. I Reels and I TikTok.
I can't do it, folks. I don't have space in my heart for another social media platform. I was here for Friendster. Okay.
Yeah. That'll do it. That's fair enough. So that's last weekend. This weekend we have Pride.
Woo!
And I know we're going to the festival. Some of us are going to the parade. That's all super cool. I want to talk about some of the non-festival things we can do for Pride. Do you guys have things already that you're doing outside of the festival for Pride? Either today or for June overall?
Well, I am performing at a comedy show on Saturday night. It's not part of Pride.
Oh, Marie.
So maybe I shouldn't pull focus right now. But yeah, I am doing a comedy show at Third Coast, the Loft at Third Coast Comedy. I'm opening for my friend Kevin James Doyle, who's coming in town from New York, and I'm opening for him. But during the day, I'm actually going to be, I just signed up to walk with Gloria Johnson in the parade.
Yeah. Cool.
I recommend anybody who can find somebody who you can go walk with in that parade because it is such a life-affirming experience. Like, you're literally walking down Broadway. Now, please bring water, wear a hat, carry a sunbrella. Don't mess around. I saw multiple people pass out last year. Please be prepared. But you're walking down the middle of Broadway, surrounded by people who have traveled here, as you heard Nick say on yesterday's episode, from all over the Southeast and in some cases all over the world. And they are overjoyed to see you and to see the parade and feel that love and feel that celebration. And I always, always, always get so emotional when you turn. Maybe it's because you're turning into the shade on 2nd Avenue, but the minute we turn off Broadway and onto 2nd Avenue, I just have this rush of overwhelm. And it's a beautiful moment, and I recommend everybody experience it. So yeah, Gloria's walking. I know Metro Council is walking. You can go out and walk with your council member. Afton Bain and Heidi Campbell are walking, who are two of our state senators.
Justin Jones is walking.
And I'm sure a lot of organizations, corporations, you can find, and if you can't find somebody to walk with, just act like you belong there. You don't need any special credential.
What are you doing, Grace?
Okay, so I think the obvious choice is QDP, which is Queer Dance Party for those who are uninformed. If you don't know what QDP is, I'm sad for you. This weekend, I pity you. It's really fun. It's usually the third Friday at the Basement East, but this time it's a, quote, B2B celebration, which I think is funny because as somebody who's coming from a relatively corporate side of the world, that to me means business to business. But in this context, it is back to back.
Oh, thank God.
I know, thank God. I was like, oh, this is like a very corporate Pride event by QDP.
Everybody come over and check your LinkedIn while you're on the dance floor.
Exactly. Come check out some corporate vendors. But no, it is back to back. And this time it's actually a Brooklyn Bowl and it's Friday and Saturday night. Would definitely recommend checking it out. There will be drag performances. There will be mysterious shadow dancers, which if you haven't been, I mean, I'm excited for you to see the shadow dancers. It's kind of an insane thing that they're real shadow dancers. It kind of gives like, remember the old iTunes, iPod commercials where it was like just a silhouette? That's like kind of what it is, but in like sexy, cool way. And then quote, secret surprises, which I don't know how to interpret, but that's what it says. It's going to be fun. I also heard about a Pride coffee crawl. which has some like specialty drinks in honor of Pride. I don't know if that just means they use food coloring, but I will be checking it out.
Y'all, what if the special secret surprise is Dolly?
I mean,
What if Dolly shows
what
up?
if?
Stop it.
Stop it.
My comedy show's canceled.
This is so fair. All right, I'm going to kick it to a break really quick. When we're back, we will hear from Whitney about the Metro Council meeting updates. We've got budgets that are passed. There's stuff to talk about. We'll see you in a second. We're back. Whitney, we had the Metro Council meeting. We had a budget that was passed. Can we talk about that? What's up?
Oh my gosh, we so can talk about that. It is actually, for the first time in my 10 years of living in this town, the first time I can remember that Metro Council actually listened to all the people who came to the public hearing to talk about the things that they needed, their wishes, their pleas to be treated better, to be paid more, and actually incorporated that into the substitute budget and then passed it 40-0. I mean,
yeah, that's crazy.
I was talking to a lot of my friends who go to council a bunch, and none of us can really remember the last time that this happened. It's usually just a parade of people who are like, can you please pay me a living wage? And everybody goes, yes, yes, we hear you, you're heard. And then they just pass, nothing. But they gave a 4% cost of living increase to all Metro workers. So that's like janitors, bus drivers, 911 operators, the people who really make this city tick. And I think because of that, it means that now the lowest paid Metro employee will be getting almost $20 an hour, which, Team Be Real, is still not great, but a long shot from where we came from. So I want to applaud Council Member and Budget Chair Delicia Porterfield for knocking that out of the park, and everybody who worked on it. And it's got a bunch of other stuff in it too. Marie, you were talking about one thing that you saw that you liked.
Yes, I did. I saw that they approved portions of the varsity spending plan, a youth-created initiative designed to safeguard young lives in the city. I'm reading this verbatim online right now. But no, I think that that's incredible that they're giving money to youth in Nashville because children need things to do. So they've allocated $250,000 directed to the Parks Department to expand the community center's programming, and then $750,000 to establish the Office of Youth Safety. I'd like to just say I used to teach theater in the Bronx, and giving youth, young adults, things to do sets them up for a better future, to give them passions, to give them activities, hobbies, to provide them role models. Like, it just really sets them up. So I'm so glad that $1 million, it seems, has been reinvested into Nashville youth.
I know. And again, it was because they showed up at that public hearing and were actually listened to. Magical things can happen. And I'm psyched that they're piloting it in Napier, which is a super underserved community in town where it's like Wedgwood, Houston's sort of nightlife is starting to encroach, but we're not providing anything for the community that's been there for decades. So I'm thrilled that that's where this youth initiative is going to kick off.
I did have a question, and my question is maybe a stupid question, but I'm just curious, with the increase in Metro salaries and that stuff, does that apply to public educators too, or is that...
That's a great question.
It does. It applies to anybody on the Metro payroll.
Hell yeah.
So teachers will be getting a pay increase?
Everybody is getting a 4% cost of living increase.
I get warm and fuzzy about teachers getting paid more.
I know. All Metro and MNPS employees. One of the people who spoke at the hearing this year, I believe, was a support staff member who said she'd been working there for 30 years and had never gotten a raise. You know, the woman who was at your junior high and who, when you would come in crying because somebody had said something crappy to you at lunch, would be like, here you go, honey, and hand you a tissue. That lady got a raise. Everybody gets a raise. It's not enough. It's just a place to start.
Is it retroactive? If you've been there for 30 years, do you get more than somebody who's been there for 1 year?
I don't think so.
Ugh. Okay. I'll file some complaints.
It is a step in the right direction. And the takeaway is that council listened, which matters because some of the other stuff that happened on Tuesday night was less of that. Number one, you'll remember our friend Tasers from our conversation with Nicole Williams.
Maybe Grace's best laugh I've ever heard in my entire life.
Marie, cut out the honking. Cut out the honking.
I love editing your laughs, Grace.
Well, I hope y'all get excited because the next time one of y'all gets tased, it's going to be with a Taser 10.
Ooh.
I know. The newest.
I've never been tased, but I'm looking forward to it. I think I could handle it.
I think you can handle it
Next week
too.
on CityCast Nashville.
We try out the Taser 7 versus the Taser 10.
On Marie.
It's silly and stupid, but one thing that pissed me off during the meeting was that we had a couple council members talk about how much better it was to get tased than shot.
I mean, that is true. Let's just think about that, though.
But think about it. That means that our cops are their only options when dealing with somebody who is maybe mentally disturbed or ill or on something or having just an awful day. Their only two options are to tase them or to shoot them. Can we not do better?
Right. Oh, I know. Heaven forbid, like an actual conversation and mediation.
Can we not have more respect? Can we not assume that people don't deserve to just be immediately harmed upon their interactions with the cops? It pisses me off.
Which brings us to my favorite part of the budget, which is $750,000 to the REACH program, which is responders engaged and committed to help. It's basically non-police emergency response. So it pairs up paramedics and mental health professionals to help with relevant, mental health crises, those kind of calls, which is cool.
And then the last thing that happened at council that I found consequential, I mean, a lot happened. A lot of zoning was approved. But from what we had talked about with Nicole is that that no confidence resolution in Wally Dietz and Kevin Crumbo did not even make it to the council floor. The mayor sent an email to all of council, our friend Mayor Freddie, the actual mayor. He sent an email to the council saying how disappointed he was in them for disparaging the name of these two lauded public servants. So I shall withhold comment so as to not incriminate myself, but we shall see how this saga continues to roll on because I don't think that's the end of that.
And to end on a really positive note.
To send you out to your weekend with something cheerful, Marie!
Well, I mean, listen, there is a positive spin to this. To start off, so I grew up here in Nashville. I grew up watching Joe Elmore on Tennessee Crossroads. It was a show, and still is a show on the Nashville public television stations. And they actually used to show this in public school, like in between like nap time.
Like when they would roll the cart in with the TV on it?
Yeah, basically. Yeah, we would watch Tennessee Crossroads like in the afternoon. So this man, so Joe Elmore passed away this week, and he's just such an incredible host. He really brought stories of farmers, of middle-class working people to light, and I think that he's definitely going to be missed. But the positive spin on it is that the show is going to continue, and they're going to have different correspondents all across the state contributing. So they're going to keep it in his honor, and then also they're going to have a tribute show for Joe on July 25th at 7 o'clock. It will premiere then on Nashville Public Television. And again, I mean, it just truly, we will all miss him very much.
It's always hard when those people from your youth pass on. Like newscasters and weathermen. There was a weatherman in Houston where I grew up who I was obsessed with. And when he died, I was really legitimately sad.
Yeah. But one last positive spin. I mean, one last thing to leave our listeners. Marie. I'm not going to spin that. I'm moving totally just to talk about the rainbow sidewalk that we're going to be getting right in front of Lipstick Lounge.
No, it's great. And what day is that? That's later this month?
Yep. You heard it here first.
Well, I know I got it on my calendar.
Actually, it was kind of sad, the owner of Lipstick's quote in here. So yes, the Rainbow Sidewalk leading to Lipstick Lounge, one of the last standing lesbian bars in the country, will be painted at 14th and Woodland on Saturday, June 29th at 9 a.m. Come on out, sweat into that crosswalk, people. Sweat it out. But yeah, there was a quote in the WPLN story from the owner of Lipstick about how they're a little worried about people coming out and being jerks because there's a rainbow crosswalk there. But listen, this is my neighborhood. No one's going to be a jerk when I'm passing by. I will sick my dog on them. His full name is Stonewall in honor of the Stonewall Inn. And I got him on the day that President Obama named Stonewall Inn in New York City, birthplace of the modern gay rights movement, a national monument. So I will be celebrating Stonewall. But he doesn't get to go to Pride anymore because it's too hot.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, leave your dogs at home. Your dog can't handle it. All right. Well, go forth. Have a good Pride.
Happy Pride, everybody!
Oh my God, my cat wants to be on us.
That's all for us. Our executive producer is Whitney Pastrek. Our producer is Marie Cecile Anderson. Our Hey Nashville newsletter editor is Margaret Kingsbury. And our theme music is by Prof. Jenkins. If you enjoyed the show, why not tell a friend? Rate the show, leave us a review, and subscribe to our Hey Nashville newsletter. We'll be back Monday morning with more news from around the city. Bye!
Bye.